Good afternoon. Welcome, bienvenue, and willkommen. My name is Kelly Lamb. I'm the Vice President of Marketing here at Miele. And as many of you across the country remain safely at home, or even as businesses are starting to reopen, we encourage everybody to remain safe. We've been with you with Miele Live over the last 8 weeks now. Many of you have had questions for us about products that you own or products that you're actually interested in bringing into your home. And through this new medium at Miele Live, we've been able to interact with you in real time, where you've been able to ask questions, and we've hopefully been able to provide you the answers you've been looking for. About 2 weeks ago, we started a brand new campaign utilizing this new platform called #MieleDinesLocal. We realized that many of the businesses across the country have been facing challenges, as we all have, during these very unique times. And we wanted to be able to actually utilize this platform to help support and create awareness for these businesses. So with #MieleDinesLocal, we put out a challenge to restaurateurs and chefs across the country to share with us their or one of their signature dishes from their restaurant. We've invited them on to be able to cook with us, either virtually or in person, an opportunity for them to promote their restaurant. But in addition to that, in collaboration with the chef and restaurant, we've purchased 100 meals which we would collectively donate to frontline essential workers that are out there across the country. Today, we're very, very excited to have with us one of Toronto's really long-standing institution restaurants that I've managed to enjoy. Many of you probably have that live in the city as well, Café Diplomatico. And with us today is Connie, owner of Café Diplomatico. Connie, so excited to have you with us today.
Oh, I'm so happy to be here today. Thanks for having us.
So maybe for our viewers, we do have viewers from across the country joining us. So also with that, I also want to welcome viewers from some of our key retail partners as well, who have invited their customers to join us today. From Vancouver, we have viewers or customers from our key retail partners, Baker's Appliances, Avenue Appliances, Jerome Appliances, Midland Appliances, as well as our great partners at Trail Appliances. Here in Ontario, we have Tasco Appliances, Goman Appliances, as well as Appliance Canada. And out east, we have Creative Appliances in Ottawa and Almar Appliances in Montreal, who have invited their customers to join us. So Connie, maybe tell us a little bit about Café Diplomatico. You know, it has a long-standing history in our community here in Toronto. When did it start? How did it start?
So Café Diplomatico, as you know, has a very long, big story behind it. So it did open in 1968. It was an initiative by my father-in-law, who felt that he would like to have a nice espresso in the city of Toronto when he was a newly immigrant here, along with many other in the neighborhood. So he decided to open this small cafe and serve only coffees and gelatos at the time. The popularity grew from there. They started selling a hot table of food, and they had a small little section, very primitive, just on tables, and the food was prepared all by my mother-in-law, and they sold out almost every day by 11 o'clock, and each day they would add another few dishes and try and stay longer, which eventually led to them putting in a kitchen.
That was amazing. That was done without a kitchen.
It was a great story. It was done without a kitchen. She was bringing it from home. So this is true home cooking that we have at Café Dip. Since then, I mean, we've grown by leaps and bounds, that's for sure, and we've expanded into a full functioning restaurant. We have our huge bustling patio that I think we're most known for, and I think everybody knows us for our soccer events. So we are definitely the place to be for soccer, and we'd like to call ourselves the soccer headquarters. So aside from that, what makes us special is that we are one of the first licensed patios in the city of Toronto. Okay. So at that time, I believe only Yorkville was allowed to license their patios, and my father-in-law decided that he thought it would be time that the rest of the city got to enjoy this. So he pushed and pleaded and finally got a one summer temporary license. And from there, it's been history.
And I think one thing we were talking earlier about it too is, many of the crew here has also been there, and I've been there too. Is your menu?
Yeah.
Such a small menu. No, just kidding.
I
kidding.
wish.
Just kidding. But
It
I
made
think
today difficult to decide, right?
But I think the beauty about that, though, is you really do have something for everybody that comes, and we've
We
been
try,
there with different
yeah.
friends, different family that have different tastes or different whatever it is. And so, what are maybe some of the most popular things on the menu?
Okay, so I would definitely say that our pizza has to be the most popular item on the menu. Pizzas and panzerottos, I think, are what we are known for mostly. We also have a very strong breakfast that we serve daily from 8 a.m. to 2 o'clock, and that's been quite popular over the years. Our whole menu is based on a create your own ideology, so you can choose your pastas, you could choose your sauces, and pretty much make it to your liking each and every time. It never has to be the same twice. So it definitely has something for everyone.
Your kitchen must love you.
Oh, I don't know how they do it. But this has been the way it is, and it's working, and we're going to keep working that way.
So, obviously we're all in this, situation I don't think any of us have faced in our lifetime, at least.
Yeah.
What's happening right now with Café Diplomatico?
So it's been this has definitely taken a toll on everybody in Little Italy, I would say.
Yeah.
We were looking forward to a bustling summer with Euro Cup in the works, and Italy making it into the Euro Cup this year. So plans have definitely changed, and it's very quiet. We have been doing takeout and delivery and pickup. You can pick up or deliver from our app, from our YP Dine app, and you could find that on our website. We also use delivery partners, so we are using Uber and we use Skip the Dishes. We have our own delivery system as well, so if you order online, we could get that to you directly. We're still open from 8 a.m. till about 9 p.m. at the moment, and as the summer weather heats up, we'll probably open a little bit later. As the city opens up, people are walking a little bit more. And that's it. We're doing what we can.
And menu-wise, incredibly, I think you told me earlier, you have your full menu running.
We do have our full menu running, so everything is available. There's maybe some choice items that we run out of here and there, but the majority of the menu is still going.
And easiest way to order right now, again, using the app?
I would say if you go to our website, use our website. That would be the easiest way, or give us a call. And then there's always Uber, right? Yeah.
So I know today you're doing also a really popular dish that you guys do.
Yes, so this is one of our very popular dishes. We make this dish more than one way. So I'm making veal parmesan today. You can also have this as a chicken parmesan or as an eggplant parmesan, depending on how you like. So
let's get started.
Okay. So I started my sauce before the show just because it takes a little bit longer to prepare. So this is just a tomato sauce. So we call it our Pomodoro Sauce. And it's very simple. It takes about 45 minutes of simmering. I started out with frying some onions here that I've got on the side, and this garlic. These are all meant to be removed because you don't want to eat those in your sauce once it's prepared. So it's all meant to be there just for flavor. So I like to remove those. You also see a big jalapeno pepper there. This is left whole. So it's not meant to make the sauce spicy. It's only meant to add flavor and to remove any acidity that you might find from the tomatoes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. So that's that.
So the seeds from the jalapeno don't actually get into
No, unless you break it. If you do break, if you want a spicier
Spicy?
sauce, you could always break into the jalapeno. I like to save it for later because some people do like to use it to spice things up. Okay. So this is just about ready. So I'm gonna just turn that off here.
And I think the camera doesn't catch all of it, but the color actually in person is amazing how rich and red that
So
sauce
tomato-wise, you use a San Marzano tomato, and I like to use the Muti brand because it's very sweet and very delicious. So delicious you could almost eat it raw right out of the can. So that's my tomato of choice.
Okay.
So over here, I've got my veal. So this veal is sitting in a egg wash right now, and I leave it in that over a few hours because it tenderizes the meat. And also to tenderize it, I've tenderized it before the show just so that it has the time to soak in the egg wash. So from here, you're going to bring your veal to the breadcrumbs here. And these breadcrumbs, you can either buy a pre-seasoned breadcrumb or you could create your own breadcrumb. If you plan on creating your own, all you need are some dry bread that you would dry out in the oven, and then you would grate it. You could add some dried parsley and Parmesan cheese, a little bit of salt and pepper to taste. So the idea here is you're going to drop your veal into the breadcrumb.
And Connie, you were saying at the restaurant you could get chicken Parmesan,
Right.
eggplant Parmesan.
Right. So on Wednesdays, we have every Wednesday we have our chicken Parmesan special. This special has been running in the restaurant for, I think, almost as long as our kitchen. So it's probably 35 years, and we definitely have a huge fan base for our chicken parm. The veal parm is on the menu daily. It's often served in sandwiches, so I think the veal parm sandwich is quite popular as well. And it's always important to start with a nice piece of veal if you want to get the most flavor. There we go. So I've got about 4 pieces here.
And you don't need to leave the veal that long in the egg wash, do you?
You do, actually.
Oh, you do? Okay.
If you have the time,
Yeah.
it's great to leave it in the egg wash overnight.
Oh, okay.
The longer you leave it in, the more tender you'll find your veal.
Okay.
So it's always a good idea to leave it in the night before. These are preps that we do at the restaurant all before opening. So our kitchen arrives bright and early in the morning, like 6:30. They start getting ready for the day, especially those long, busy summer days.
And you guys start early already with breakfast.
Yep, our breakfast starts at 8 a.m. In the morning, and we do that, like I said, every day. And I'm just going to check my oil here. So now that we've breaded the veal, you're just going to take it over. I've got this Miele pan here that you can actually use on the stove top and in the oven. So I'm going to fry my veal here, and you're going to just flash fry your veal. So you don't want to overcook it or cook it completely.
Okay. Now, normally in the restaurant, we were saying earlier, you guys actually, we don't have a deep fryer here for you, but normally you would actually deep fry it.
Yeah. So normally this would be done in a deep fryer. I don't think my oil's quite hot enough here. So the oil's not quite hot enough. You want it a little bit warmer so that it's bubbling.
Right.
Right. And then you're just going to leave it for a few seconds on either side.
And Connie, at the restaurant for breakfast, you guys serve that all day as well?
We actually cut breakfast at 2 o'clock.
Okay.
Breakfast is an intricate meal because there's so many steps to breakfast.
Yeah,
so
I would imagine.
the kitchen doesn't accept it any time after 2 o'clock.
Okay.
But we have our classic dip special, which is 2 eggs, bacon, coffee, tea, and a side of toast or potato puffs. That's always been one of our most popular dishes. Okay, they're not quite done just yet. I'll probably flip that one more time.
Yep.
Just
Let the
because, like I
oil-
said, the oil's not
heat
quite
up,
warm.
yeah.
Exactly. So we'll give that a few moments. And I'm just going to check on my water here. So as a side dish to the veal,
Yep.
we always serve, you always get a choice of either a side of pasta or a side of salad. The most common pasta you could put on was penne pomodoro, let's say. But you do have a choice of any of our sauces and any of our noodles at that time.
And what are some of the other sauces that are on the menu?
So we have a full range of different Italian sauces. So you could find our rosé sauce, our matriciana, our
Okay.
carbonara, our bolognese, which is quite popular. We have an Alfredo, we have a truffle.
Wow.
Yeah, so there's definitely, like I said, something there for everyone.
And so you were talking to me earlier about a new project that you started,
Right.
a second culinary experience, I guess, that consumers or
Yep, so
customers can have.
a few years back, we ventured out to Port Credit and opened a second restaurant by the name of Posta. Posta is a very large patio restaurant as well. And in that restaurant, we have almost like a marketplace going on. So as you walk in, there's a takeout area for gelato, some of our products, and coffee. As you walk through the restaurant, you'll find a charcuterie and cheese station. There's a dessert bar. There's a pizza bar, and then of course our main kitchen. All right, so I'm just going to now assemble the veal parmesan.
Okay.
So we're gonna put our sauce on the bottom. I'll just leave that here. One second. All right, so you're just gonna take a ladle and you're going to,
Do you want me to put the pasta in for you?
I could,
Do you want to wait?
yeah, sure, we can do that.
Yeah.
I'll do that in 1 second.
Yeah.
Okay.
And is there a reason why you picked Port Credit?
Just because it's a beautiful neighborhood, and we really like the waterfront, and we felt that there was a big need for a patio restaurant out there. The community is very family. They really like to support their community out there as well. So we felt it would be a good place for us to be.
Although the menu you're saying is different than...
It is a little bit different than what we do at the Dip, yes. At Port Credit, we are making all of our pasta in-house, and we have a various amount of noodles that we create there.
Okay.
We also have a smaller menu, so it's a little more particular, let's say. There's an all Italian wine list, and so you could find many different types of wines that you might not find elsewhere. All right, so with the veal here, what I've done is I've placed the sauce on the bottom. Then you're going to cover the sauce over top. You're going to add some Parmesan cheese, right? And I'm going to put in the pasta noodles here.
So I'm going to set the timer for you.
Sure. All right, so I'm going to continue adding the Parmesan cheese.
Okay.
There we go.
And Connie, for the pasta you said 11 minutes?
11 minutes, yeah.
Perfect.
And then you're going to put your baked cheese here on top. All right, so now that the veal parmesan is assembled, we're just going to cover it here with the lid. And And we're going to place that here in the oven. Thank you.
There you go.
All right. There we go. All right. So now at this point, we just have to wait a few moments for our pasta to boil.
There it goes.
There we go. Okay. So this sauce here, I'm going to use it in my pasta. So this is going to make our Pomodoro sauce. So you can basically use the same sauce that you're using for the veal to make your pasta. And then you would add in any extras that you like. So you could add in, let's say, bocconcini cheese. You could add in some hot pepper if you like. You could add in vegetables or anything that
So
sort.
really flexible.
Right, very flexible. I'm just going to stir this up here.
Yeah, sure.
There we go.
So maybe talk, for some of our viewers that again are not from Toronto, maybe give them an idea of that experience during soccer time.
Okay.
Because
so soccer's a lot of fun at Café Dip. We started our big soccer campaign, I'd say, in 2005. I mean, it's always been known as a soccer place, but in 2006, we started marketing to all the soccer tournaments and all the soccer games. So that's when we became Where Nations Unite. During that year, we partnered with Puma and Amsterdam and put on a big show for soccer the whole tournament long. Italy was fortunate enough to win that year. And College Street was absolutely crazy with people. Our place, I thought our place was going to fall down. Everybody was celebrating and standing on the tables. We had big screens going, so it was just one big party. I'd say, and a lot of happiness, lots of horn honking, lots of fun, lots of flags. And since then, we've been hosting the tournaments bigger and bigger every year. So regardless of whether Italy does make it or not in the cup, we do put on a big show. One year we actually closed off the schoolyard on Clinton Street at Clinton School, and we had something called the Schoolyard Bash. So it seated about 2,000 people.
Wow.
And we had our big screens up there. And Spain won that year, and it was just as much of a celebration as any other. So soccer is always definitely a lot of fun. We're always doing a lot of giveaways at the time. There's always a lot of media attention. So if you want to get caught on camera, that's definitely the place to be.
And are you guys thinking of doing something differently this year, or
this summer?
Yeah.
I'm kind of, I don't know what to say.
Right.
Because I'm not sure when we'll be able to open or what we will actually be allowed to do.
Right.
So hopefully we'll open in some form sooner than later.
Yeah.
I know that there's been some talk about opening parquettes in front of the restaurant so that we could still add some seating, even though we have to maintain social distancing. So I'm excited about that project if it actually comes to pass. I'd be even happier if we open fully before that.
Sure.
Whatever it takes to make all this better and go away, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Totally agree. So Connie, if you don't mind, we have a couple of questions that I may throw your way. Liz, thanks for joining us at Miele Live today.
Okay.
Again, so Liz's question is, what brand is the pan being used? What type of tomatoes?
Okay.
So I can talk to the pan, which I assume
sure.
for the tomatoes. So Liz, we have a partnership here at Miele with Zwilling Henkel that also owns the Staub brands, but specifically we're using a Zwilling Henkel pan right now. for the tomatoes, and Connie for the tomatoes. I know you mentioned it earlier,
Yep.
but if you wouldn't mind repeating it
Yeah,
again.
I like using Muti brand tomatoes. They are an Italian San Marzano tomato, and I use the Pilato form. It comes in different forms, so you can either get a full liquidated sauce or you could get a fine chopped tomato. I prefer the plum tomato because I find the others a little bit more bitter because the seeds are within the sauce. With the plum tomato, you don't have to crush the seeds, so you don't taste them so much.
And then we have a question from Dora, so two-part question from Dora. What material is the pan, which was the Miele pan that we used to put in there? And
I'm just going to take a little check. Okay.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And what type of cheese was put on top of the veal? So for the pan, Dora, this pan is the Miele cast iron pan with a stainless steel lid that we've used in this particular case. Connie, if obviously they don't have this pan, what other pan?
So in the restaurant, we use a deep fryer, and we use actually put it in the pizza oven with a pizza pan to melt the cheeses on top. At home, you could just basically use any glass or ceramic baking dish. You could even use an aluminum baking dish, as long as you have a cover for it, so that the veal doesn't dry out. Okay.
Can they foil it if they don't?
Yeah, I foil it all the time.
As well?
Yeah, that's the easiest way. You could have a look on it every now and then. And then for the last few minutes, 3-4 minutes or so, you could put it on broil just to get it a little bit toasty. Yeah.
And Dora's second part of the question is, what type of cheese was put on top of the veal?
So I first put on a grated Parmesan cheese, and the second topping was a mozzarella cheese.
Okay. So hopefully that answers that question right now. So Connie, maybe again you can talk a little bit as well about some of the other items that are really, really popular at the restaurant.
Okay.
Again, for some of the viewers that are out from not from Toronto, that haven't had a chance to try.
So we have, I think one of our great items would be the Panzerotto. So Panzerotto, if you've never had one, are usually very large. It's using pizza dough, and the pizza dough is stretched out like you would a pizza. And then you're going to fill the inside with a tomato sauce, cheese, and whatever toppings you like. You flip over the dough, you pat it, close it off, and then throw it in the deep fryer. And whenever you say fryer, I mean you always know the result's going to be good. So you get
Who
this
doesn't like
beautiful,
deep fried?
you get this beautiful golden pocket that comes out. It's nice and fluffy, and you're going to eat that dipping it in some sauce as well. And that's always a big favorite.
And it is a big dish.
Yeah, it's a big dish. If you don't like frying, if you don't like fried food, you could always have it as a calzone. So the calzone counterpart is an oven-baked Panzerotto.
And there's both available at Café.
Both are available, yes.
Which is perfect.
Right. So do you have that
Pasta has
timer?
about 2 minutes.
2 minutes to go. Okay.
So I think pretty close.
Okay.
We'll wait for that.
Yep.
So maybe just going back to your other project. You know, the menu items you said are a shorter list.
Yep.
It's quite different.
Right.
To some degree. What are some of the dishes that?
We do have a ravioli with a cream walnut sauce, a mushroom ravioli with a cream walnut sauce. This recipe is actually our aunt's recipe. She lives in Italy, and she's a fabulous cook. So we tried that at her place when we were visiting, and we thought we had to bring that here. We hadn't had it anywhere in Toronto, and it's been a big hit. So.
And again, that's all homemade up. The
it's
pasta's
all homemade, yes.
Okay.
So much so that it's a different concept restaurant where it is a reservation. And the large parties definitely have to be pre-booked, so it's not a seat yourself and casual cafe.
But it is a big space.
It's a very big space.
Yeah.
So we do host some beautiful special events there. It's a great place for a wedding, an engagement, Christmas party, office party. So yeah, we have 400 seats altogether in summer, and during winter times, it's about 200 seats.
And
all right. So it looks like my
Pasta
pasta is
is-
ready. So let's test my strength here. Like that. There we go. So I'm just going to strain the pasta.
Yep. I'm going to turn it up for you. And Connie, where would they find more information about that restaurant?
We also have a website. If it's called Posta Ital Bar.
Posta Ital Bar, okay.
And like I said, it's located in Port Credit. And they're also doing their part during COVID with delivery and takeout options.
Okay.
I believe that we are doing starting to do some meal kits in the location as well. So looks like I could have used a little bit more sauce here, but 1 second.
Still smells fantastic.
Thank you. 1 second. I'm going to just check on my veal. Yeah, and that looks pretty much done. So we're going to remove
I will
that,
close that for you.
and I'll get you to shut the oven off for me.
Absolutely.
All right. So ideally, you'd have to use a bit more sauce with the penne to add more flavor. This should do.
Yep. I'm looking at the
Yeah, we just
behind the
made it.
scenes crew here. Kind of, they're really eager.
And I just got my cheeses here. Sorry. So I'm going to add some Parmesan cheese to that as well. Okay. And if you like, you could add some buffalo mozzarella to that, those chunks.
And do you serve it that way in the restaurant
You
as well?
can. So
Okay,
in
you
the
can order.
restaurant, like I said, you could add whatever you like to a pasta.
Okay.
So I like adding the mozzarella because it just makes it a little bit creamier.
Yep.
It melts nicely within the pasta, so it adds a lot of flavor. And some people also choose to make it a little bit spicy, so you could always put some cracked dried pepper, not too many. I think 1 will probably be enough. Okay, and a little bit of basil. Okay, and then you're gonna top it with some olive oil. Makes it taste a little bit
Very nice.
fresher. And there you go. And there we have it. All right. So that is done. So now let's look over here. And
Ooh,
so that smells
it
scrumptious.
looks really nice.
And that took us about the same time as the pasta, about
Pasta.
15 minutes or so in the oven.
So for home cooks to do it at home, it's
Yeah,
actually
I would set your oven at 350 convection bake for that. And
Oops.
we'll just do some plating here.
go.
Okay.
Connie, for the other restaurant,
Yes.
do you guys change the menu more frequently up there?
Yes, we do. So the menu, actually, originally we were hosting different regions of Italy each month when we started out. So every 6 weeks or so, we would host either a Campania region or a Puglia region or the Southern Italian, Sicily, the North, and we would bring in a specialty menu that covered those areas. Right. And you're just going to add whatever sauce you've got here on top. So I would say every season we come out with something new,
Okay.
and you could always find host items from different areas of Italy.
Okay. We have a question,
Right.
Connie, from Liz.
Mm-hmm.
She was asking, what type of olive oil do you use?
The olive oil is called Olitalia olive oil that we use, and it's also a product from Italy. And I find it has a lot of flavor, but not too much flavor.
Okay.
Because sometimes when you are cooking, while you're cooking, if you use a super strong, let's say, olive oil, it's going to overpower the taste of everything else. So I would save those olive oils for raw dishes.
Okay.
And as long as you have a moderate range olive oil for cooking is fine.
Okay.
Okay, so here we go. So there is our veal, and then typically we just add the pasta here on the side.
Okay. That's a lot of food.
It is. So this would be typical of one of our family style meals that we're serving now.
Which is great.
So you could order this for, let's say, a family of 4 or 6 or more, and that's it. And there we have it.
Thanks.
Okay, you're welcome.
That looks fantastic. Again, for many of
Okay.
us, we've been there and love it.
Yeah.
So we want to thank you so much for joining us
Well,
today.
thanks for having me.
It
was a pleasure.
Unfortunately for those that can't get to Toronto right now, we're really happy to be able to share one of Café Diplomatico as a restaurant, because it really is such an institution within the city itself.
Mm-hmm.
It's a community. It really provides a community feel, and I think that's why we all love it
Yes, it does.
so much to come to. So we want to thank
Thank
you
you.
for that. So before we wrap up, just as a reminder, so you guys are open 7 days a week?
Yep, we're open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. till 9, hopefully till 11 p.m. In the next coming weeks or so.
And full menu available?
And full
for
menu is
most part?
available. You could find us online, and you could find us with Uber and Skip the Dishes, or directly. You could just give us a call. Okay.
Great.
All right.
Well, we want to thank you again. And Connie, I know that together we're going to purchase 100 meals from your team
Thank
to
you.
donate. Do you want to talk a little bit about where we're donating this to?
So where we're located on College Street, and we are very close to Toronto Western. So we do have a lot of customers from Toronto Western, so we will be donating it to them.
That's great.
Okay.
We look forward to that. I'm sure they'll be looking forward to getting a break
I
and
hope so.
enjoying some
Yeah.
of the food from you guys. So again, thank you very much for joining us. It's been great having you.
Thank you.
For those viewers out there that are in Toronto, take every opportunity you can to experience some of the food and take it home and enjoy with your family. It's kind of
Awesome.
family time for everybody right now. So I want to thank everybody for joining us today on Miele Live with hashtag Miele Dines Local and Café Diplomatico here in Toronto. It's really an honor to have Connie join us today. Be sure to join us later this week. Later today, actually, we're doing a special session with our partners at Zwilling Henkel on from cooking to actually presentation at the table. So that'll be a lot of fun too. And very, very lastly, on behalf of the team at Café Diplomatico Miele Canada, we want to send a very, very big thank you to really all the frontline workers across the country right now that are servicing all our communities, making sure that the essential services, whether it's medical, restaurant deliveries, restaurants, public transportation, everybody's getting the services that we need. So a very, very big thank you to all of you. And as businesses start to reopen across the country, we know it's at different stages right now and in different provinces. We really want to encourage everybody to be safe. Again, thank you for joining us today on Miele Live. We look forward to seeing you again. Thanks.
Thank you.